Alright, regarding randomness, I felt it was a lot of work to import a bunch of windows into the engine that were just random. Think about an engine for a sec. If I import another static mesh that was a window, that's a different asset that the engine has to calculate for. It just seemed kind of weird. So, what I wanted to do was make something that allowed the windows to be random, just automatically, either by a level load or something else. So I sat down, I worked out a shader. I'm calling this the random glass shader. I don't know what else to call it. But other than that, okay, let's say I want to copy a window. So I use Alt, click and drag, and notice as I move the window, the glass changes. And each time I move it, it's always random. Isn't that cool? So I'll show you how I made this real quick. Well, not real quick, but it only takes a couple videos. So it all starts down in Photoshop. Okay, so let's look at Photoshop real quick. And I got that mounted somewhere down here. Yeah, there it is. And I'll start out by making a new texture. And this texture is going to be quite awkward. It's going to be 512 by 2048. It's still within the power of 2, but we use this type of relation, or this ratio, to make very high-res textures, okay? And we can also use it for tiling and all kinds of other tricks. But here's a 512 by 2048, which you get something like this. Okay, so next you just have to find window texture. Alright, well, for me, I just went on the internet and typed in window texture. And I hunted around for a little bit. And some of this stuff was really dark, some of it wasn't really what I wanted. So I decided to make some noise, but I needed a ground, something that to start with. Here's some good starts. So that. Let's go into larger than 6 megapixels. And here's a great start right here, which is, this is just almost generated out of Photoshop to begin with. So copy that image, paste it in here, and I'm going to make it super small. And tile it a couple times. Just erase that so I can blend 2 of them together. And 3 of them together. There we go. Alright, now I wanted a little bit more, so let's see, Control E. And then I'll duplicate that. Ooh, my duplicate is down past the ability to get it. There we go. So, duplicate it. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I'll just blur that up a little bit. And then I'll add that to a different kind of, like lighten or soft light. Soft light looks good. The other one looks a little bit contrasty too. I don't want that much contrast, so I'm just going to blur that a little bit too. Not as quite as much as the first one though. Okay, so there we go. We got a couple blurs. I do like a little bit of noise in my glass, so make another layer. Try to get this layer above the other one and fill it with gray, or a bluish gray. And then you can go filter, noise, add noise. Now you can either use uniformed or Gaussian. Okay, I'm going to be using uniformed, and I want to do something like that. And again, change it to something else. Okay, that's a good start right there. I would say this one's even a better start, and what I'm going to do is just lower that down just a little bit, and there I got some nice textured glass. And we can adjust that as we go. That's not the important part. The important part is we divide this up into 256 squares. Okay? And in this case, what I like to do is take this, go to fixed size, and I guess 512 will work. So let's do 512. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is just make another layer, and I'm going to fill these with off and on colors. So in this case, black. Use Alt, click and drag. Doesn't have to be deadly perfect. This one I'm just going to fill with the other color. Then I'll grab both of them to save time. You can go back to normal. Grab both. Click and drag. So you can see that 4 of them fit across quite nicely. Now the reason I did this is because we want to divide the texture up evenly, so when we put UVs on them, we know where to place those UVs. Okay, so now the fun part. Another layer. In this case, I have to develop a black and white, and I did this in a few different ways, but what has to really happen is it can never have a flat surface. In other words, it can't go like this. Okay? We don't want it to ever go like that. We want it to go up and down like a sawtooth. And we want to kind of be able to bridge between those two, the halves of color there. Okay, so this works. I'm going to complete this just like that, and we'll just do that one in white. Now if you wanted semi-transparent, you could do gray. I think I'll try semi-transparent this time, and somewhere within that ratio. Okay, I'm going to select inverse and do the rest in black. Okay, now you can spend a lot of time on this and try to develop something better, but for right now this will work. I do have to offset this. Filter, other, offset. Okay, and what I have to do is just make sure in the horizontal axis that there's never a flat spot. In this case, there is not. That's good. Doesn't matter where we keep it. I have to move this over to an alpha, so I just go like this, edit, copy, merge, go over to my alpha channels, and make a blank alpha. Again, this is channels, there we go. So I click that button, and then I paste it right there on alpha 1. Alright, so go back to your color and turn this one off, because what you want to do is be able to see just this. Okay, these two other layers were just there to visualize where to put the actual alpha down. So now the alpha channel looks like that. You can double click on this and it'll take you back. And then your color is going to look like this. Okay, so I'm going to just save this as a TGA within my warehouse. And I'll call this random window text or color map. Alright, I want the alpha channel and I want this as TGA, 32-bit pixels. Alright, now that we have this part, let's go into the next video and I'll show you how to apply it within Maya, because we have to first apply it to Maya. We have to reformulate one of our windows to fit this new idea. So, meet me in the next video.